Married at First Sight Mzansi is now on its 6th episode, and you can catch the show on Mzansi Magic and Showmax every Sunday. And I am still enjoying the show, absolutely loving it. Now, Married at First Sight is part of an international franchise. They call it a social experiment where they take complete strangers and a group of professionals in the relationship space, look at their personalities and their characteristics, and they match this girl with this boy based on their personalities, and then they are married at first sight. And here we are with Married at First Sight Mzansi. 6 episodes in, the couples go away on a couples trip together. All couples are going to be together, sharing the same house on this trip, and there was conflict, okay, with 3 out of the 4 couples. Now, Sebenzile and Boitsepo are like the perfect couple so far. They have not had any fights, anything major. You know, they are the ones who still in La La Land. It's still sunshine and roses for the two of them. Super duper happy for them. Now, while having a conversation with another couple, they did reveal that it's not like they are so perfect that they don't argue. They do have disagreements. It's just that they talk things through and they resolve whatever it is that they were arguing about. So a lot of maturity on that front. I'm super happy for them. Now, as I said, the other 3 couples have faced some conflict. Now, let me start off with our usual suspects, Tammy and Z. We saw on episode 5 that these two were going through the most. They were just not getting along. Whatever it was Tammy was doing, he seemed to upset Z. At some point, she was so upset that she just wanted to be left alone and sit somewhere in a little corner and just be present with her emotions. But no, production wouldn't let her, okay? The producers and everybody, camera crew was right there in her face, trying to ask her what's going on. She's like, I'm just going through something right now. They're like, oh, but you gotta go through it on camera. She wanted to get away. Why were they forcing her to go through it on camera, you know? And Tammy was right there trying to be a supportive spouse, trying to find out what he did wrong. The producer's like, no, talk to Tammy, tell Tammy. So yeah, I mean, they then had the conversation and she was like, she did not like what he said earlier. Something about when she gets emotional, she ruins the mood for him or she ruins his day. And number 2, apparently, Tammy blocked her from his statuses. So she gets on WhatsApp and she can't see Tammy's statuses and she's like, why? What is he posting on his statuses that he feels the need to block me and I don't see it? So all of that was a lot of conflict, or rather a lot of turmoil in their relationship on episode 5. Even Tammy was in tears because Tammy's like, it seems like all I ever do is make her cry. They did subsequently have a session with a therapist, and the therapist sat down with the 2 of them and they have a talk. And fast forward to episode 6, it did seem like, okay, they might have reached some type of understanding. Z was happy, Z was not, you know, so conflicted. Even when she found out about this couple's getaway, she called him immediately, as in she called Tammy immediately to let him know. And yeah, they go on this couple's getaway. They're happy about everything until the dinner. Everybody's sitting, all the couples are there sitting, having dinner. And Tammy asks Z to pour wine for him and she shakes her head. She did not want to. And later on in their room, Tammy's like, but what was that? Why wouldn't you want to pour the wine for me? Why would you say no when I asked you? Z is just tired. Z is like, you are always asking me for something. I felt like now that we're together with other couples, you kind of showing off just to see, just for them to see that it's like this is like this. And from my interpretation of that scene, Tammy was not being malicious, man. From the camera angle, it looked like the bottle was closer to Z, and so he asked her to pour for him. But maybe that was a camera angle because the other guy, Tabang, ended up just being the one saying, no, man, it's fine. I'll pour for you. So maybe that was just a trick of the angle. But Like, pour the wine for the man. I don't think it's an issue. But now looking at things from Z's perspective, Tammy is so patriarchally, he's all about gender roles. Who knows, in the privacy of their apartment, how many things he keeps asking her to do and expecting her to do for him, serve him, cater to him, and stuff like that. I feel like that has created something in Z's mind. It's like, God, this man always wants me to give and do for him and do for him. And I think that she was just tired. But that, they spoke about it and Z did apologize. Now, let's take it over to our younger couple, Makum and Tabang. These two, I did feel like they were putting on a show for us. I did feel like in other episodes, like there's things that they're not showing us. They're not completely open and transparent with us, especially after certain things that were raised by Boitsepo. When they were having a girls' night out, Boitsepo had a session with the camera crew where she's like, no man, when it's them without the cameras, Makumo reveals a lot of details that prove that she's not entirely happy with Tabang, But when the camera's on, Makumo speaks very kindly and very nicely of Tabang. So, there's that information that we got from Boitsepo. And so with episode 6 starting, these two had a little bit of an awkward conversation where Tabang was calling out Makumo for not wearing her wedding ring. And Makumo was like, yeah, it's because we've not been spending a lot of time together for you to see that the ring doesn't fit me anymore. And so he's like, what do you mean by that? She's like, no, it's just I'm saying you haven't been around a lot. So it's like, I feel like we're missing out on a lot that is not captured on camera, but I understand the cameras cannot be available 24/7. That will be a high cost for the production crew. But yeah, the tension was thick. Hey, even the next day, when they were traveling to this couple's getaway in the car, these two were not talking to each other, or rather Makumo was not talking to Tabang. He was trying to reach out to her, trying to talk to her, and not in a way where it's like he's acting like nothing happened, where he has brushed it under the carpet and he wants the two of them to just be back to normal. No, he knew that she was upset and he wanted to talk to her so that they can resolve the issue. They can clarify and clear the air with whatever she's upset about. I feel like Tabang was very patient and he just was not getting worked up. Makumo was mad. Okay, like I said, in the car, she didn't want to talk to him. She was on her phone. They got there. They were riding in the same car with Sebenzile and Boitsepo. And you could just tell this tension between the younger couple. And then Makumo decided to share with the group, with everybody there, the four of them, why she was upset. She relays the story that she had agreed that she was going to go to the shops to get certain items for the two of them, her and Tabang. But then that afternoon, she decided to get her nails done first, which she did. But by the time that her nails were done and she went to the shops were closed. So she could not get whatever it was that they needed. And when she arrived home, Tabang arrived maybe 5 minutes after she did. And this is how she tells it, that he just laid it onto her. Like, did you get the stuff? And she's like, no. And then like, but what were you doing the whole day? And she was like, she's just so livid. She's just so upset, feeling like, you know what, she is not his skivvy. He must not think that he can just, he must not think like he can just send her there and there to get whatever the heck he needs and stuff like that. He must talk to her properly. She does not like his tone. Girl had a lot to say, and you could tell that some of the things and stuff that she had also been bottling up. And I do feel like a lot of the argument or a lot of her negative feelings were based on gender role expectations. With her as the woman in this relationship, Tabang expects her to do certain things for him and for them as a couple. And I feel like it's just tiring for women, especially because in all these couples, they all get up and go to work. So we all get up and go to work, and there's still some womanly gender role stuff that I must fulfill in this relationship that you are expecting me to do. And this point is going to come up again when I tell you about the argument that Kuto and D had. The more you look into it, is the fact that this gender role expectations on the side of a woman in modern day, where we all get up and go to work, it does not seem sustainable. Now, my big issue with this thing that was going on between Makum and Tabang is, number one, this conversation should have been had by just the two of them in the privacy of what they should have just ironed it out. Makuma could have told her, I don't like what you said. I don't like that you expect 1, 2, and 3 from me. It's too much. I did not like your tone. Don't talk to me like that. Don't be like that. But she was expressing that in front of not everybody, but in front of another couple, and also in front of a couple that seems to have such a pristine reputation in terms of how they are finding their feet and getting along in their relationship. One thing that the couples here are going to struggle with on this trip is the comparative spirit, comparing how we are getting along to how that couple and that couple are getting along. It's going to be a big issue. My other gripe with Makuma was her tone. I understand that she's upset, but I did not like her tone and the phrases that she was using. She was like, I'm not your skivvy. Like, that whole thing, I get it, you're mad, but maybe she needed to take a little bit more time to make sure that she calms down before she speaks, so that she speaks to him in a respectful manner. And so that's that on them. In the next scene, though, they were walking around like everything is resolved. I don't know if everything is resolved or not. But let me move on to the last couple, Kuto and D. Now, Kuto and D is another couple that thus far had been getting along so well. They've been having very meaningful conversations regarding this trial marriage that they are on. And to them, it's like they married for good, for life, 100%. Now, they both have children from previous relationships, and they have even spoken about when we are introducing the children to each other and stuff like that. Dee even introduced Kuto to her mother, and they had a good conversation in terms of, this married at first sight thing is whack. It's not good for our culture. So at some point, they're going to have to start again from fresh and do things in the right manner. So, things are going well between Dee and Kuto, but when they arrive to this couple's getaway, there is no peace. There is tension. Like, they're sitting in the table with the other couples having dinner. Boy, things are tense. The tension is all over Kuto's face, like, what on earth is going on? And later on, they're in their room, and then they are sort of talking about it and then having diary sessions about it. And apparently earlier on during the day, number one, Dee was frustrated because they had to travel on this trip, and she was hungry and there was no food and what, and she didn't get time to get food, and something happened at a shop where they were buying specs for their trip, and she snapped at him and he did not like it. But later on, when they're in their room and they're talking about it, Dee is rehashing their argument in terms of, you said this and I said that. Why did you say to these people that I didn't cook? And it's like, no, I only said what you said. So, tension with this couple, one of my favorite couples as well. So that's a little bit of a sad one. But it seems like when these two fight, or rather, it seems like when Kuto is upset, he does the silent treatment. No, we can't have that. Sir, we cannot have the silent treatment situation. Silent treatment is very dangerous in a relationship, in a friendship, in family, in anything. Because, like, the person being given the silent treatment, they feel punished and they feel rejected by the other. And this is a relationship, even once it's a new relationship. So Kuto gotta stop this whole silent treatment thing because it's going to be detrimental for this new relationship that these two are trying to, foster and grow. So yes, tension on Married at First Sight Mzansi. Very educational, on the side of relationships and how we should all get along and fight fairly. My goodness, I can't wait for episode 7 because it seems the tension continues. Did you watch episode 6? What's your take on the couples? Are you still enjoying it thus far? Please let me know. And once again, if you've made it this far in the video, please make sure that you bless me by subscribing. Thank you. Bye.